How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store has just kicked off a massive new sale in the PlayStation Store Indie Sale, as well as a great deal of the week. Now, it's actually a little interesting because they're running the Indie Sale right now, and we had just covered the Hot Deal Sale a few days ago. And the Hot Deal Sale is literally an indie sale as well, where a lot of lower key titles are discounted. So it honestly feels like they're running like two variants of an indie sale right now with a lot of smaller games, but a lot of notable games, I would say, are discounted as a part of this indie sale, given that these days these lower key indie titles are some of the best games that do come out. Not too surprising that these are some of the better games with how good some of them end up being, but we'll get through all of that. First of all, do want to highlight the deal of the week, which is Metaphor ReFantazio, 30% off for $49. An absolutely fantastic JRPG for a lot of people, their game of the year in 2024. For most of my viewers, from what I read in the comments, the ones that I see the most, the 4 games that I see the most for game of the year last year was Metaphor, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Stellar Blade, and Black Myth Wukong. Those are the 4 games that I constantly see you guys mention. For me, I would probably throw Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth in the mix as well, but Metaphor, Like a Dragon, or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth are probably my top 3, and those are really interchangeable. And when you throw in like the Stellar Blades, the Black Myth Wukongs, like games of that quality level, I can totally see why people would turn to any of those as game of the year. Metaphor was a fantastic game, and it took a lot of what Persona did well, dropped it in a different style of setting, which is totally up my alley. Look, I enjoy the Persona games. The school setting really isn't my cup of tea, but, you know, gameplay and fundamentally, those games are so well done. But you take those fundamentals, you drop it into Metaphor, you have a great archetype class system in the game as well, and a really good narrative all the way through. I feel like I've just played way too many JRPGs, though, that I kind of saw some of the plot twists just coming a mile away in this game, and I'm sure a lot of people saw that as well. I mean, it's hard to, you know, do things that really surprise you when you've seen and played so many games that were JRPGs with these vast narratives, but still a fantastic game, and a lot of content. 80 hours, 80 to 100 hours really, if you're looking to do all the side quests, and I feel like the side quests are fairly worthwhile to do, doing all the bond events, and the bond events are directly tied to the archetypes as well, so you want to do those as much as possible. But yeah, it's a great game. $49 is obviously a hefty price point, but given the quality level, given how much content you're getting, I would say for the most part it's a no-brainer here, so definitely do check that out if you're remotely into JRPGs. Alright, moving on from that, the PlayStation Indie Sale, we've got it filtered via full game, game bundle, and premium editions. A lot of games are discounted, north of 2,000 games. Obviously, when you do have a lot of these lower key titles, I am not familiar with a lot of them, so just keep that in mind, but you might be able to find some hidden gems here for sure. 9 Souls, 20% off for $24. That game was received incredibly well. I think it initially released on PC, and then it got ported later to PlayStation. Yeah, that was the case. Dropped on PC back in May of last year. It's 21,000 reviews, 95% positive notes. Sekiro inspired a deflection-focused combat as well. Only 20% off, so still at a hefty price of $24, but definitely one to add to the wish list if nothing else. Gang Beasts, $7.99. Ark Survival Ascended, $29.24. Planet Coasters 2, only 20% off as well, $40. Medieval Dynasty, 40% off for $18. Squirrel with a Gun, $13. You've got Funko Fusion, 20% off for $28, which I believe that was relatively recent as well. Slime Rancher 2, 34% off for $19.79. Cult of the Lamb, 50% off for $12.49. Sifu, 65% off for $13.99. A really enjoyable and rewarding game, but a game that will get you to the point of damn near snapping your controller in half, but had a great time with that, so definitely would recommend that as well. Another Crab's Treasure, 34% off for $19.79. I remember when that game came out initially, and it just kind of took the gaming world by storm. A lot of people were checking it out. Very charming action Souls-like title, I would say, for this price point. You know, nice little discount, not a bad shout there either. Body Camera Shooter, 25% off for $9.74. Sea of Stars, 30% off for $24.49. Another great JRPG. Additional 5% off if you are a Plus subscriber. Was available on Plus Extra when it initially came out in August of 2023, but has since been pulled since it had a 1-year window to be on Plus, but nevertheless, good price on that for sure. Terraria PS4 Edition, $9.99. Shredders is 40% off for $17.99. You've got Slime Rancher 1, $4.99 on that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed, $27.99. That's 30% off discount. Overcooked for $3.99 and Overcooked 2 Gourmet Edition, $9.09. Hollow Knight, obviously an easy recommendation there. That's one of the most beloved Metroidvanias on the market, and people are very much awaiting Silk Song, and hopefully that'll be out this year, but honestly, starting to lose a little bit of faith in that, but yeah, $7.49 on that. Long Dark, $17.49. That is available on Plus Extra, so you can check it out there. Anochia, The Last Song, that is available 30% off for $28. Another action Souls, like, they're really cool setting to that game. City Skylines Remastered, 75% off for $9.99. City Skylines 2 is kind of cooked, so City Skylines Remastered, a good shout there. Astroneer is $9.89, good price on that as well. Paint the Town Red, $9.99. You've got Jackbox Party Pack, that's 30% off for $21. Slitterhead is already 50% off for $24.99. Now, my main criticism with that game was its initial price point of $49.99, but this is the reality you gotta think about when it comes to games coming out at these price points, especially when you're looking at it from a digital lens. You can put these games on sale whenever you want, and Slitterhead is one of those games. Yeah, they priced it a little bit high. The people that really wanted to play it bought it at $50, and now, just a couple months later, it's already half off for $25, and I'm not saying I like that. I saw that with Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrushed as well, where that game was $60, and I'm like, man, that seems like a little bit hefty of a price point, but ended up going on sale very quickly. Slitterhead, kind of the same thing. Slitterhead, very reminiscent of like a janky PS3 game, and I say that kind of lovingly because I think that era of gaming is beloved by a lot of people, and there's a little bit of a charm to that as well. But yeah, $25 on that, and again, this is done by the creator of Gravity Rush, worked on Silent Hill as well. I think a lot of people can be like, look at somebody like me that always talks up Gravity Rush and wants a Gravity Rush 3, and then you know, we'll say I'm hypocritical because I'm saying buy this game at a discount, but, you know, I'm looking out for you guys' wallets. Gravity Rush is at one level, Slitterhead is at another, and they're totally different games, but you get the idea. Legendary Tales, $38.49, 30% off there. Jackbox Naughty Pack is $14.99. Gas Station Simulator, 30% off for $13.99. Hell Let Loose Ultimate Edition is $35. Dredge Digital Deluxe, 40% off for $16.19 on that. Blasphemous 2 is 50% off for $14.99, which is actually a decent pickup for that. Not a bad deal there. Walking Dead Destinies, 70% off for $14.99. I was about to run the gimmick where I talk this game up and just say it's the greatest game since sliced bread, but yeah, it's a disaster of a game. And I really enjoyed Walking Dead. I don't watch a lot of television series, but Walking Dead's a show that I really enjoyed, and I watched Walking Dead well after playing the Telltale game, but you know, but this Destiny's game is just absolutely cooked. Beyond cooked. And the idea of it was really cool. You know, fundamentally change key moments of Walking Dead and have a narrative play out in a different way. But yeah, it's not it. Like, don't be spending money on that. Bendy and the Ink Machine, $7.99. Bendy Studio Collection, $15.99 on that. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is $13.74. Shadows of Doubt, 25% off for $18.74. Recent release there, but decent little discount on that. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, $9.99. Awesome deal there. Definitely recommend that. Until Then, super underrated game there. 35% off for $13. More of a narrative-driven title. Throwback art style. Really cool setting and great writing as well. Very emotionally driven game. $13 for that is really good. Rain World, 55% off for $11.24. That is available in on Plus Extra. That game is fairly difficult and a little bit of a challenge, so just keep that in mind, but a good price on that. Great art style to that game as well. The Last Fate is $16.79. You've got Scorn, $17.99. Darkwood, really well received there, $6.74. Dead Cells and Return to Castlevania bundle, $15.74. So that's Dead Cells and just the Castlevania DLC. There is some other DLC as well, and it would behoove you to pick it up all at once, but you don't have to, and the Return to Castlevania DLC is pretty cool, so obviously that's a good shout. I love Dead Cells, always talk that game up. Haven is $12.49. Great game. I mean, Valentine's Day is coming up, so if you want a co-op game to play with your significant other, Haven's a great one. Haven is a fantastic game for co-op play, and $12.49 very much fits the Valentine's Day theme as well. Very charming game, and it's super easy that like anybody can play it, so I would say that's a pretty decent shout. After Image is $7.49. Metroidvania there with a great art style as well. You've got The Escapist 2 for $4.99. What else we got? Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, 80% off for $16. That's the Ultimate Edition as well. That's a great discount on that game. I mean, like, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is never gonna be this marquee franchise that's at the level of Smash or anything like that, but it's a nice little brawler of a fighter, so $16 for that is pretty good, especially for the Ultimate Edition. Tunic is 50% off for $14.99, save an additional 10% and get it for $11.99 if you're a Plus subscriber. That's a great deal. Great visual style there as well, and gameplay is reminiscent a little bit of like a throwback Zelda. Had a good time with that one. Viewfinder, $13.74. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Quest for Balance. Yeah, that game ain't it. Avatar really deserves a better title, and I believe there's a big budget AAA game in development, so hopefully that game turns out well, but yeah, as iconic of an IP as Avatar: The Last Airbender is, the fact that it hasn't gotten a marquee video game is quite surprising. The only video game that people really talk about is the game that you spammed B for like 30 seconds and you got 1,000 gamer score back on the 360 days, but as far as an actually competently well-made game, doesn't exist, which is unfortunate. Carrion is 75% off for $4.99, great deal on that. As Dusk Falls is 35% off for $19.49, save an additional 10% if you are a Plus subscriber. What else we got? Rogue Legacy 2, 50% off for $12.49 is a pretty good deal. River City Girls is 50% off for $14.99. They've got the River City Girls 1, 2, and 0 bundle for $37.49, which is fairly decent there. Just Damn, $13.74. Frostpunk Complete Collection is down to $8.99, and if you're a Plus subscriber, you'll get it for $6.74. That's a ridiculous deal. Highly, highly recommend that. Fantastic deal for Frostpunk Complete Edition. Even $8.99 if you're not a Plus subscriber is awesome. That's an awesome, awesome deal. Probably the best deal that I've seen thus far. Speedrunners is $2.49. Potion Permits, $7.99. Rugrats Adventures in Gameland is $14.99. I mean, I'm not too familiar with that game, but Rugrats is a pretty notable throwback show. Them's Fighting Herds, had that mentioned in one of my videos, looking at some lower key titles. Played it, and love the art style, love some of the gameplay mechanics, was not crazy about like some of the platforming in the single player component, but the fighting gameplay I think is incredibly stylish. Unfortunately, it looks like the game isn't being updated anymore, and the developers had promised some updates that unfortunately are not going to be coming to fruition, so that's always a little bit of a bummer, but what can you do? The Devil Within, Satgot is 25% off for $18.74. Vampire the Masquerade Justice, 40% off for $17.99. Man, can we get Bloodlines too? Hopefully, probably not this year, maybe next. I don't know these days with that game. It might be a long ways away. What else we got? Wizard of Legend, $4.79. Awesome deal there. Orcs Must Die 3, $8.99 on that. Chia is 60% off for $11.99. Orcs Must Die 3 bundle, $11.99. Warhammer 40k Mechanicus is $11.99, $7.99 if you're a Plus subscriber, which is actually fairly decent. KO the Kangaroo is on sale, a bunch of different editions of this Anniversary Edition, a Well Good bundle, and then the base game is 75% off for $7.49. That's the main thing, and an additional 5% off if you're a Plus subscriber, which I believe would take it down to $6, which is a really good deal for KO the Kangaroo. Deadlink, 30% off for $17.49, stylish game there. Bright Memory Infinite, 30% off for $13.99. Morbid the Lords of Ire, 50% off for $14.99. Crosscode, 60% off for $7.99. Citizen Sleeper, the sequel is about to come out on that, but the first game is $5.99. Eternites, $11.99. Very, very cheesy game. The dialogue is, you know, cheesy anime writing. It's a dating sim crossed with a dungeon crawler. Persona, this is not, let's just be honest here, but it's a fun little game to go through, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's not super lengthy. I would say, like, if you like cheesy anime dialogue and you find it more comical than anything, I think you'll end up actually having some fun with Eternight. Solstice is $7.99. You've got Turok 3 on sale. Shadowrun Trilogy, $9.99 on that is phenomenal. That's a fantastic deal for Shadowrun Trilogy. Highly recommend that. So a lot of notable deals here as far as some lower key titles, but that Frostpunk Complete Collection, Shadowrun Trilogy, like those deals are sleepers for sure. You got Postal Brain Damage as well for $14.99. It's not a bad one, although a little bit of a heftier price point, but that'll do it for me. Metaphor is the deal of the week. Obviously worthwhile to check that out. One of the best, if not the best game of 2024, and a lot of decent deals as a part of the indie sale. By the way, my friend Pedro, $3.99 on that is great as well, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.